Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts this afternoon, Michael, followed by other host, Kat.
Hello.
And other host, Sage.
Hi.
It's our third birthday.
Yay.
Yay.
We are 3.
Yes.
We are still many years away from being able to drink, and probably won't even reach that age, let's be honest.
We won't.
That's a whole nother, how many years? 18 years?
What country?
I don't think we'd reach any country's age. I think the lowest is what? 16?
No, I think in Italy, isn't it like 14 in Italy?
No, Italy,
No,
it's 18.
The actual legal.
Oh.
It's
It is,
18.
yeah.
I mean, everybody fucking drinks in Italy, but the
Yeah.
legal age is 18.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because when I flew into Italy, when I was studying abroad, I was able to drink. But when I was leaving, I was able to drink in America because I turned 21 in Italy.
Ah.
So I got like an extra month out of being able to drink.
For all
I
that
didn't
drinking
use.
that you do.
I drank a lot on that trip.
The
I
only
never got
time-
drunk.
The one,
but
the one time Mike decides to drink.
Well, I was 21. I mean, like, you
I
turn 21.
guess so.
And
It makes sense.
And I went to a place where I had to spend a lot of time with people that were also in my age and like in frats and sororities. So
Wow, that
like,
sounds horrible.
I actually liked most of them. Most of them were pretty
One
chill.
thing I'm so glad my school never had like Greek life. It sounds horrible. Like I truly don't understand why people want to be a part of it.
My school didn't.
It's
Cooking
paying
school
for
doesn't
friends.
have Greek life, so.
I mean, literally, it's paying for friends. Like, if you just don't have to search for friends. You go to
No,
this
you
thing.
just do what I did. Your freshman year, you make one friend and never leave your dorm room. And then your sophomore year, you decide, fuck this. I should probably go out and, like, meet literally anybody else. And then I did.
The youngest age to drink is 15.
Where is that?
In Mali and Central African Republic,
I see.
apparently.
12 more years, guys. 12 more years.
12 more years. We can reach it. God, I would be 38.
I think we all would, minus Cat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Fuck.
37.
There's no way. There's no way that's happening.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I expect to have kids by then.
Also, I would also expect that.
I can't show up most of the time now. You think I'm going to be able to show up with kids?
Yeah, no.
To like have to get a babysitter to then like
Hey, kids, I'm going to go record my podcast with my
Yeah,
friends.
like-
I'll be back.
don't know about
I
that
mean,
one.
you could just mitigate the problem by not having the kids.
Again,
And then there's no conflict of interest.
there's the two people here that have always talked about wanting kids. We understand we're in the minority of this group, but like, it's not
Unless
happening.
somehow this blew up and was somehow way worth it to like weigh that.
Yeah.
And it lasted for 12 years.
Yeah, like
Even if it did blow up, who's to say it would last that long?
well, yeah, exactly. That's true too. Because I was gonna say something to make it more of a priority than
Right.
like wanting to have those
Than,
kids.
like,
But
just
there's
for
also like an
funsies.
internal clock. So like, you know,
I don't think this would ever take precedent over you wanting kids.
no, waiting on kids.
Oh, okay.
Not instead
I was getting
of.
like, the way you phrased it made it seem
Sorry.
like you'd be like, yeah,
No.
the podcast is more important than kids.
One or the other.
waiting on having kids. My bad. I didn't mean instead of.
What do you mean? We had Nia when she was 4 weeks old. You could just bring your kid in and be like, here's the child.
Exactly.
Please
Just,
don't.
like, sit here.
Well, assuming all of us still hang out around the same circles when realistically Kat's probably gonna have kids before any of us. And by us I mean me.
The only other person.
Yeah. Well, Colin's been on the fence for like years. And
It really just depends on who his partner is.
yeah.
Their
Same with
decision.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like assuming we all hang out, there's probably gonna be a kid involved at some point. And you'll have to
He's
just
just like, I'm gone. Done.
once you have a kid, you'll no longer hear from Sage ever again.
Yeah.
I just
Banned.
don't like kids.
But it's not your kid, so you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Right.
But like, I also don't care about when people are like, "Look at my kids! Look what they did." I'm like, "Great for you and your kids. Who the fuck cares?"
Sage is just
Wait, okay, so speaking of kids,
uh-huh.
did you guys see the Four Seasons Orlando baby?
I sure did.
Did
What?
you see
The
it?
fully conscious baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
What?
It's horrifying. It's fucking horrifying.
Let me see if I can find
So
it.
there's a TikTok where
Like an actual baby?
it's like an actual baby where like a mother, and she's like recording, her husband's holding a baby, and then I think there's like a little girl around. I don't know. It's like a TikTok. She's asking her kids who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando, like that's the questions. And this baby in like the husband's hand fully raises its hand and goes, me. It's you have to watch it.
Do babies not do that?
Who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando?
No. Babies don't do that.
Because there are babies.
Yeah.
You can't coherently think it
I
usually
don't
that
know.
style.
So-
How old is that baby? They have like
That
some
baby-
amount of thought.
Not that amount of thought. So that's like the scariest fucking thing. And then afterwards, it,
Throw
like,
out the whole kid.
It kind of like nervously chuckles almost. It's like fucking weird.
Throw out
So,
the whole.
like-
Have you seen that video of the woman with the baby that looks like a Chucky doll?
No.
Oh my god, it's
Oh,
actually so
ew,
funny. She
ew.
was doing like a trend with the
But,
baby
ew.
to like some song.
A baby's
and
a
then,
year old.
Wait, somebody came out saying how
Apparently, yeah.
But yeah, and then
should not
somebody
be
was
saying
like,
me.
I'm really sorry to say this, but you got to throw that whole kid away because that kid is a demon. Looks exactly like the Chucky doll.
Oh god. But the Four Seasons Orlando baby. Like really think about it. The mother is it's 1 year old. 1
Okay.
year, 12 months. Like usually kids
Maybe me was like the kid's first word.
Ever.
Which-
that'd be the
which-
wildest.
No, not like
which maybe
in that moment. That was the first time they said a
which
word.
yes, it could be like that could be its first word. Maybe that's the only word it knows. But I saw a different video because this video is so like weird. It keeps like coming up, and so somebody like broke it down, being like, "This is even weirder because me is one of the last words a baby learns because when people are talking to a baby." It's usually kind of in the third person, kind of
Oh, like
being
you or by name.
does baby want, does whatever the
true.
baby's name is, or mommy's gonna do this, daddy's gonna do this. It like me doesn't really come up.
I guess you have to
When
be
Because the baby
conscious.
doesn't become first person
I was gonna say
conscious.
you have to be conscious enough
Yeah,
to know
and
that
this is a
you are
fully
a me,
conscious
if that makes
baby.
sense.
Like,
Yeah.
like that's like the like scary thing about this fucking video.
Maybe these people raise their kid in first person only.
I guess like that's like the thing, but
They're like, no. You don't get mommy, daddy. You get like,
me.
yeah.
You get me.
I feel like that would feel so unnatural though.
I know it would be like that's like this.
Like I'm not
it's
even
so
someone
weird.
who I'm someone who like I obviously
You don't do babies.
I
Yeah,
don't-
you don't like kids.
I don't
so-
like kids. I don't I
But
try
would you say me?
no, like I
yeah.
try not to interact with kids, but like
Mm-hmm.
if I have to, I'm not like incompetent.
Yeah.
Like I still know you're supposed to treat kids like very delicate.
Yeah.
And you don't talk to them like adults.
Yes, it's because they can't comprehend
Says Sage,
yet.
but then when she goes home, she just punts kids she passes by. Just walking down the street, just bam.
No. Although I do get really annoyed because in our development,
there's babies that exist.
no, there's one house that like, I guess it's like two ladies that both have kids, and they just like
Hang out with each other.
hang out with each other a
How
lot.
dare they?
So the kids are always outside
Playing.
and
How
scream.
fucking dare they?
No. They
They're screaming,
scream non-stop from like lunchtime to sundown on the weekends, and I'm like, I sure love this peaceful, quiet neighborhood I'm in.
Can you?
I thought
complain
only
to-
old people were here.
Can you complain to the development?
Oh my god!
I feel like such an
you'd be such a
asshole.
fucking loser.
I would feel like such an asshole being like,
be
hey,
such a
do
Karen."
something about these toddlers. Like,
You don't have to.
be a fucking Karen move and a half.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be they can't play outside.
No, but
it could just
anybody that goes up to them is like, "Hey, we've got noise complaints about your children yelling
I don't know.
during the day when you're allowed to be loud."
But like, she said it's still sundown. Like that's excessive.
That's no.
Screaming?
You're allowed to be loud, like because you could be blasting music.
Unless Sage is exaggerating.
She is.
no,
Screaming.
screaming.
But,
Like,
like,
even
what-
if I have my windows
like
Like in
kids
pain, or like they're just like yelling at each other like things they're doing.
Like screaming, running around at each other, not
I don't
in
know.
pain.
I guess we'd have to see. Like,
I feel like
but
that.
like I like
but you
kids,
know-
and the screaming would annoy
But, like,
me.
You know
like,
how kids with their tiny bodies create enormous amounts of noise?
Yes.
Like, I don't even know how they manage to make that kind of noise, considering how small they are. I don't even think I, as a fully developed person, can make that much noise.
I think Sage is just being a curmudgeon.
as she continues, I'm like, these are probably just normal kids playing.
Yeah, they are. Like
No, they're
it's the weekend and it's during
No,
when the
literally-
sun is up. It's not
literally
like
as she kept going, I was like,
They're-
this is probably normal.
no, they're
Like,
literally
this-
so
Sure.
loud. Like, I
Because
could
at
have.
first she was saying
my-
screaming.
They
and I was
do.
like,
I could
it's
have
just
my
regular
windows
children
closed.
noises.
I think instead of screaming, she means like they're like loud. They're just yelling.
No,
like
yeah.
I don't
Literally
know. Not scream. When I hear screaming, like I
screaming.
don't know. I
like,
picture
if I
something
close my
different.
windows, you can still hear them. That's how loud they're being.
Well, are they right outside your window?
Like, here's my window, and there's the courtyard that they're in.
So they're
Okay,
right
so
outside
yeah,
your
they're right
window.
out the way. I'm telling you, she's just being a curmudgeon.
I don't know. Just play something loud.
I know I don't like kids, which is why I actively avoid interacting with them and or having them.
Yeah, it's fair.
Like, why torture myself and this child that doesn't deserve it? Like, the kid didn't
Well, I
do
mean, yeah,
anything.
if
Good
you don't want to be a
decision.
parent, you should not have a child.
Exactly.
I mean, there's plenty of people that do it though. So
Yeah, there's
Right, but
plenty
that's
of
the
people
wrong-
who are
that's the
horrible
worst thing to
parents.
do.
good decisions.
So why
Only
am I
if
gonna
you-
do that?
You should only have a kid if you want the kid.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that don't do that.
Well, you're right, and they're wrong.
Especially
Yeah.
like, have you seen this whole thing with what's her name, Ruby Frankie?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, so she had a YouTube channel, and it was like a family vlogging channel.
Oh, those always go poorly.
Oh my god. Okay, so
They do. They
Red
literally. I don't
flag
think any of them have ever
red
gone
flag
well.
number 1, Mormons. Okay, they are
Massive red flag.
strict Mormon family.
Okay.
Red flag number 2, the mom got into some weird like culty
That's not being a
multi-marketing
Mormon?
business thing that is involved with Mormonism in some way, with some woman who is extremely shady as well. But they have 6 kids, and I think the age range is like from oldest to youngest is maybe like 10 years in between. So just imagine like an 18, 16, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, and I don't know, fucking 6-year-old or something.
Okay, sure.
So they have like 2 kids that are really little, middle-aged, and then like, not middle-aged, but you know, like
Yes,
10, 12.
I understand.
And then like older teens to like early 20s. That's the age range here. But it was discovered, actually not even discovered, one of the kids ended up escaping the house. He wasn't even at his own house because the mom would just like bring the youngest 2 kids, to her business partner's house and have her to take care of them. Except she wasn't. So one of the kids like managed to escape her house and like ran to a neighbor's house and was like, "I'd like some help, please." And this kid was in bad shape. And I don't know if her sentencing just happened, but
I think I actually have heard of this.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think she got like 14 years or
What's it called
something.
again?
Ruby Frankie.
But the kids looked fine in the videos.
So originally the kids looked fine in the videos, but then they stopped posting videos altogether. Because at some point, like, their channel was getting a lot of like negative attention because people were noticing like weird things in the videos and like how insanely strict the mom was being with these kids. Like, she would say it like on camera, like hee hee ha ha, you know, and like people were like, this is not normal behavior. Like, this is a
Pleaded
bit
guilty
extreme.
to 4 felony counts of child abuse,
Yeah.
serving up to 3 decades.
Wow.
Wow, I said 14 years. I gave her the lighter end of the stick
30
there.
years. She's 42. So
I don't know. She'll be 72 when she comes out. She could still abuse kids at that age.
Yeah.
If anything, you get older and crotchetier, and then you're even worse.
Okay, wait. So this is just reminding me because I mean it doesn't have to do with family vloggers or anything, but it's a movie that I saw that it's like a real case, and then it has to do with he's an old guy. Did you see what is it called? A girl in a locked room or something? What is it?
Oh, like Joseph Fritzl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is the most fucked up
Mhm.
thing that I have ever fucking. And then the movie being like the lighter version of it.
I think I know what movie you're talking about.
I just want to find the actual
and
title.
I think if I remember correctly, I didn't watch
Girl in the Basement.
Yeah, I never watched the movie, but I heard in comparison it was like pretty tame because it's a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, because I looked it up afterwards and they like changed a couple details. Do you know this?
No.
Okay, so basically, it's based off of like this real case, though it's not from here. I think it's like the Netherlands.
It's like Austria, right?
Something.
Where was Natasha Kampusch from? Because it was just look up Elizabeth Fritzl, and you'll get it.
Yeah, because it's not actually from here, but I think the movie is just like.
Oh, located here.
Yeah, I think they just did that for convenience.
Austria.
Sake. Yeah.
Oh, so I was right.
Because that actually has to do with because I think he can get out like this year or something like that.
Like on parole.
Yeah, but it has something to do with their system and
So-
like why he can.
I know
Um,
that prior to that happening, he had I think either 1 or 2 rape charges that
Before
he
that?
before that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
This is
But,
actually
wait, I wanna
before.
explain,
Oh
like,
yeah, sorry.
to-
But also,
Like-
technically, you can get out from shit. Like there was
Well-
there's someone that from here that assaulted and raped and I think killed a girl, and they were able to back like when my mom was a kid, and they were able to get they were almost released a few years ago, and like everyone in the town did like a whole like protest march thing. To, like,
Oh
fight
my
against
God, what's his name? Larry something?
I wasn't
He-
gonna say it because
the-
I don't know what, so that people
Did
can't
he
base
cut off
it,
the
but I don't know.
girl's
I don't remember.
hands
I
off?
don't remember the details actually.
Just
No, I
Okay,
actually
okay,
don't
that's
remember
so
the
vague,
details.
though.
That's but like I literally don't remember the
'Cause I
details.
think I know
just
what-
remember the story happening because it happened here.
to the.
Oh, okay, then no, that's not who I'm
Yeah.
thinking of because this guy was in Florida.
No, it happened here.
Okay, then I don't know who you're talking about.
And there was like a whole thing. Everyone like I think the governor pardoned them. Anyway, I
For
think.
what? Good behavior?
I think I don't understand.
But like, yeah,
something
you
like
can
that.
technically like.
Technically, you can serve your sentence
Yeah,
and get
like,
out, unless it's a life sentence.
Which theoretically, not theoretically, actually, factually, is the point of prison is to
Yeah, it's
rehabilitate
rehabilitation.
the people in it.
But like I don't know. Personally,
Now, that's not a stance on whether they should be out or not. I'm just saying that is the point of
there are
prison.
some
I think
people
Joseph
that
Fritzl.
should-
I'm surprised he didn't get murdered in prison.
Well,
I wonder if they
that's
put
a-
him in isolation so he wouldn't.
Yeah, most
yeah.
people that do anything with kids usually end up dying in
Well, 'cause
prison
I-
anyway.
Well, also, just personally, I believe that there are certain people that shouldn't be rehabilitated. Just personally, but
Well, not even shouldn't. I think there's certain people that can't be,
well,
regardless
Right,
of.
but technically that is what
That's
the
a whole
American
diff-
prison
yeah.
system is for.
But that's a
Does
whole
it do
different
that?
thi- yeah.
No, but that is what it exists for in
Yeah.
its theory.
yeah, that's like well, not even just the American, like all.
Well,
prisons,
yeah,
I think
I-
it's supposed to be
yeah.
that, and usually other country systems are more successful at that.
Well, yeah, 'cause
versus
they actually
ours.
try.
Yes, though. Whether or not that's possible, I don't know. But I believe that certain crimes,
Yeah.
like you shouldn't, like if you kill someone and it's not in self-defense, you shouldn't have that opportunity to go free. But anyways, so basically, what he did is, and there's like different details between the movie and the real case. So sorry if I mix them.
Well, I could tell
up.
you the real case.
So
I was
do you
gonna
wanna just
say
do-
Sage
you
probably
wanna-
knows it.
okay,
I
do you
just
wanna
know what the real
okay,
case
so
is.
you
I was
wanna
like,
do-
Sage
just
is the
do-
criminal.
Okay, just do the real case.
Okay, so
then.
for
I
the
won't even
real
go into the
case,
movie.
I'll just give you like the quick and dirty because to go like in depth will take entirely too long.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Joseph Fritzl, he was a guy living in Austria, very successful businessman, actually, very good businessman. Wife, and I think they had 4 kids, maybe 5. I don't know that for surezies, but he was kind of just like horrible in
This
general.
says 15.
Well,
We'll get there.
Elizabeth had,
Well, you
I
just
think, 8 kids, but 1 died. which he did father. So I
So
guess technically that does
You're getting
count
ahead of
towards it.
yourself, so he's
But
confused.
anyway, so he
Don't
was
read
like
that.
kind of
You're
a piece
getting
of shit his
confused. It doesn't
entire
make any
life.
sense. Just like wait till she
He was
explains it.
he was a piece of shit his entire life, right? But he was also good at business. Had a bunch of kids, and then he was like obsessed with his middle daughter Elizabeth. And he would do like really weird, creepy stuff, like put like porno magazines like in her bedroom, and he would like go through all her belongings and like read her journal to see like who she's talking to and like where she's going and this, that, the other thing. And then I think when she was like 16 or 17, she was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So she tried to run away and go like start a new life by herself with one of her friends in the city. But then the dad, because he was so like possessive and controlling, not because he actually cared that she left, because he was like concerned for her safety, but he would like wanted her back. He filed a missing persons report, and then she was like basically within a day brought back home. So then when she turns 18, she's like, okay, I'm finally 18. I can go and like live with one of my older siblings. They already like cleared it that it's okay for me to go live with them, so I don't have to live here anymore. And at the time, the dad was doing an extension on their house, and he was making this like big giant, like, imagine building another house next to your house, but he was going to use it for renting purposes, you know, to have tenants.
Right.
But underneath that extended second house was a like bunker space. And he was like, hey, can you just like help me with something down here real quick? And she's like literally packing her bags ready to move out. And she's like, you know what? Like, let's not leave on like a bad foot. Like, I'll be cordial for the next, 2 hours before I dip.
Nah, always bail.
So she goes down there with him to see what he needs help with, and he just locks her in that underground. Then he puts a missing persons report to the police being like, my daughter Elizabeth ran away again. And because, yes, she had actually run away previously, the police were like, oh no, they believed him. Then flash forward to 19 years. So she's been in that basement for 19 years. And I think she had 8 kids. One of them died.
Yeah.
So she only had 7
he
surviving
been
kids.
raping her every single day.
Yeah.
He made her birth all of those children
By herself.
The multiple kids like were down there with her.
7
and, like,
of them.
had
Actually,
to
no.
grow up.
So
So
the
they
first
kept-
kid, Kirsten,
I think there was
she
like
kept
4
she had 4, and then 3
down
of
with
them
and then a couple of them.
went to the upstairs family,
he would
as he
send
called
them
it.
in baskets to the front door with notes
To be
from
discovered.
her to the mother, being like, "This is like it's Elizabeth writing. Like I can't take care of this kid. Can you take care of it, Mom?" Like basically.
Because he would, like, the excuse was that she had joined a cult. And in the letter, she would be like, oh, the cult doesn't want me to have kids, which is like, any cult wants more members. A kid is a free member, okay? They would not be like, no, not that one. But anyway.
Just 19 years of nobody figuring this out is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so the kids that were born and raised in the basement, when they finally got out, they had to do such extensive therapy, not only to like acclimatize to like regular life, but because they'd only known that space, they
'cause the
could
air.
not handle, not even air, they just couldn't handle any space that was
Weren't
larger
weren't they
or
having
had more
trouble,
light.
like breathing as well.
So
I
they
thought I
had-
read something like that.
So they had really poor health in general.
like their lungs like weren't.
I would believe
up
it
to-
because there was no like central air, you
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, it's
And-
the same premise of like
And
people in the military not being able to sleep on beds because they're so used to being on the ground. Like
Yeah.
they,
He used
they
to,
just
like,
can't.
He used to turn off the air and stuff like to like punish them. Like he used to.
Well,
do that.
he would bring let's say like every week, some very small amount of supplies for her and the kids. But every time he wanted to get supplies, he'd have to go like 2 hours away to the next town over because he didn't want anyone in the town that they live in seeing him buying like diapers and stuff because they would know his wife didn't just have a baby. You know, why are you buying these diapers?
She
And-
literally helped him put the door into it on it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the reason why this even got found out about is because the oldest daughter got like extremely sick. And
So in the movie, he was trying to kill them. Is that true? Like, is that part of the movie, or was that?
no, he was definitely not trying to kill them.
Okay,
If
so he
anything,
was-
one of so
he was
she
trying to like seep like poison air in there or something to
no,
like kill
definitely
them. Okay.
not.
So
when
that's what I was
she
just wondering
she
if
gave
that was
birth
part
to
of it.
twin sons. I think that was baby 5 and 6, my guess, or 6 and 7. I don't remember correctly. But one of the twins died, and he was devastated when one of the twins died because he wanted like hella fucking kids. And she eventually told the kids, like, this is not normal life. You know, like, I don't know how we're gonna get out of here, and if we do, but this is not regular. But you can't say that you know that, you know. So the oldest daughter ended up getting extremely sick, and so Elizabeth was like begging and pleading to be like, please just take her to the hospital. Like, you can just say that, like, I dropped her off again, you know, from the cult. Like, you use whatever excuse, but like, let her go to a hospital. She doesn't deserve to die down here. So finally he was like, okay, fine, I'll take her to the hospital. And it's a good thing they did because she was in seriously bad shape. Like, she was on the verge of death. She had like kidney failure, a whole bunch, like severe vitamin D deficiency, basically like every mineral and vitamin, you know, whatever nutrients your body needs, she was deficient in all of it. And so when she was at the hospital, the daughter, the hospital staff was like,
Who is she? We have no record.
yeah, who the fuck is this person? There's no birth certificate, no school records, no social security, you know, no record of this person ever being born. But they were like, she had to have been birthed in a hospital because, like, when she cut the umbilical cord, it was such a clean cut that they were like, oh, you know, there was no like scarring in the belly button area. So they
Yeah.
were like, oh, it must have been a hospital birth, but there's no records of her. That's so weird. So the hospital convinced, like, called the police, and the police put out this statement being like, if you're this girl's mother, please come to the hospital. Like, we'll keep everything anonymous, blah, blah, blah. You know, we'll protect your identity, but like, we need you to come here because there's like certain family history of, like, you know, if you have like a family history of diseases or anything like that, that we need to know. And they didn't know that Joseph was the father of the child at this point. He was just claiming to be the grandpa. So Elizabeth ends up going to the hospital because he lets her go. Because she's like, I'll be good. Like, I won't say anything about you, blah, blah, blah. So then she gets to talk to the police, and she's like, I'll tell you anything you want to know as long as I never have to see this person again. And they were like, we can do that. We're the police. So yeah, that's how basically all of this like happened. And then they got the other kids from downstairs out. And after this happened, every like person was like, how did the mom not know? Especially
Well,
with all these like
wasn't it-
surprise babies showing
Because
up.
wasn't it like soundproof and then?
No.
Yeah, but also supposedly the
wasn't-
mom
it
was like
wasn't
stupid.
soundproof?
No, I'm reading stuff about this. By the way, she was down there for 24 years.
Oh, 24 years. Sorry. You're right.
I
just
no,
remember
because
Kirsten
the
was
person
19.
on the ground floor complained about noise all the time for the 12 years they lived there, and he would just always say it was pipes or gas heating systems.
Yeah.
The amount of things that are being said in this, where it's like, that doesn't feel a little odd to you. Like, he wouldn't let anyone go down there. He would tell his wife not to like ever go down or bring him coffee or go near it, like because he was too busy working.
Yeah.
And he would do that. He would spend nights down there. Like, I don't know. How do you never once when he goes out like,
Go check.
I'll go clean up the room. He's probably leaving a mess down there if he's fucking spending so much time
But
in it.
she's never said anything about like the mother finding her or anything.
No, I
so-
know. But what I'm saying is like that the mother never bothered questioning it because she
Yeah.
clearly didn't do that.
Yeah, there's never-
24 years. Like I don't know. It just feels.
So there's never been
Odd.
any like definitive answer if the mom knew, because in like her press statements, she is always, of course, like, no, I obviously didn't fucking know. Like, I wouldn't have let that like happen. But like Mike is saying, there was so much like
Yeah.
shady, suspicious stuff happening.
Yeah.
Like, how could she not know? You know, and then like all these random ass babies showing up at their door. You know,
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the most fucked up story. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he brought her to the hospital because she was like, "Hey, bring me there," and the police detained them. And then she did not provide any details until they promised that she would never see her father again.
Yeah.
And then over the next 2 hours, she told the story of 24 years in captivity. Yep,
Yeah.
that's so fucked.
Yeah. And then I think they all like live in a house together. Her and like all her kids. It's like a big house where there's like no doors or anything like that.
Oh, it's like
They
all
have-
open.
Yeah. And they have bodyguards, and I'm pretty sure she is dating a bodyguard. I feel like I've read something about that.
Oh, that must be a more recent update, because I don't remember that.
It
Because
definitely
she like is
recent.
not like
The fact that he made her help put the fucking door in.
Yeah.
yeah. No, this man is diabolical. Like,
Well, that's the
next
thing that
level
was
evil.
like so fucking upsetting when I saw like this year he like could be up for parole.
I can't
was
imagine they'd be like, you know what, you've been doing real good.
I was like, what?
But
the
then
fuck?
again, back to what I was saying about his previous rape charge. At the time, he had served his sentence for the rape charge, and I think he only got like a year and a half for that. But at the time in Austria, if you don't like reoffend or do anything illegal, right? After 10 years, they will expunge that charge.
Oh,
And then it won't be on your record anymore. Which is crazy.
yeah.
So they, after this whole thing happened, they were like, yeah, we should probably get rid of that rule.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible.
Does she have kids in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just
Like-
it's also the thing of like, apparently according to you, like she had her sibling was expecting her to show up because they were like, yeah, come here.
Yeah.
And then when she didn't show up, they'd be like, why would she run away? She was fucking coming here. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's like, I mean, I'm sure that all of these people are thinking the same things in their brain. Like, how could I never question this shit or whatever?
And I'm sure like
So,
the
like,
father
yeah.
was gaslighting them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. It's just like, I don't know. 24 years, not
Is a
one
long
person
time, yeah.
ever questioned anything
But,
in a way that was meaningful.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure people were like, that's weird. Or
Can
like,
you
whatever.
look up the blueprint layouts, or if they have like any pictures of what it looked like?
I
'Cause,
think
like,
there's pictures of like the bunker space.
Because in the movie, like it was hidden, so like even if you went into
He let them expand it
yes, he did.
by digging it out by hand over years.
Yeah, and the
From 35 square meters to 55 square
and at the
meters.
time, I think it was her, and I think she only had 2 kids at this time, and the younger of the 2, the son, got so freaked out by the expansion
because there's too much space.
because he just wasn't used to it. He like couldn't like compute it, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? So it took him like a long time to even get comfortable
Oh my
with that
God.
expanded space within that like bunker area.
Wow.
He just looks evil.
He is.
He is.
But yes, you're right. He does look evil.
But yeah, because like in the movie, even if you like went downstairs, like you wouldn't really like see it kind of thing. So it's like, I kind of wonder if it's something like that. So like if they had gone downstairs, they still wouldn't see it. Because like maybe at some point they did go down. Because like you wouldn't expect that there's like a secret bunker,
Right.
you know, kind of thing.
So supposedly, I think he had told her at some point, this was probably like 9 or 10 years in, that he had like upgraded the security for the door. So like
they said that he would he threatened to gas them or electrocute them if they fucked with any of it. But then the police found out that neither of those could have been possible. I mean, like, not that he didn't say that, but that he couldn't have done that,
right.
Because he didn't have any of the equipment to do such thing. But again, he probably would still say that, and they have no reason to think he can't.
Yeah.
But
Why would they suspect otherwise?
Yeah, but the police said basically that couldn't have been a thing. That seems to be what it is.
That's for the bunker
Yeah.
portion? Gotcha. How old is he now? He must be like 90 at this point.
No, I don't think he's that old.
He was pretty old when all of this
He's
broke.
80 something. I think I saw that before.
Oh.
He's 89.
I was
wow.
very close.
I thought he was only like 80.
No.
I didn't think he was that old.
No, he is 89.
That's crazy.
Yep. Wild.
Yeah, the movie's called Girl in the Basement. If you want to watch it, fucking disturbing.
Is it good?
I mean, I watched the whole thing. Like, I didn't stop it to be like, you know, it was interesting enough that I was like what the
Did
fuck
it feel?
is this?
Here's a better question. Did it feel like a dramatization? Does that make sense? You know, when you watch like a documentary and they have like a
I was
dramatization.
gonna say, does it feel like someone's just cashing in on the story, or does it feel like they're actually trying to do this in a way that's like?
I mean, to be
real?
fair, I didn't know the
I think
story.
it's always gonna feel like a cash in.
I didn't know the story existed before I watched it. Like, I saw it and then was like, what the fuck
This
did
shit
I
is
wa-
crazy.
Yes,
Right.
and then like looked up the story and then found out like the details. But for the most part, it is the story. They made it a little bit lighter. Like, it's a little bit less of time. I think there's a little bit less of kids. He doesn't rape her as often. Like, you know, just because it's a movie, you know,
right? Because
like,
in a movie, you don't want to just have like nonstop suffering.
Exactly. Like,
That's why. Oh, man, that'd be a spoiler for a good movie. I don't want to bring it up. Never mind.
I'm trying to think of what else. The only thing that I think that they shouldn't have added that's like a little bit weird, and I've seen like critiques about it as well, is they add like a love interest. Is like there was a guy that she liked in school. So like before like he you know, they're together and everything, and they talk about like running away together and everything. And then at the end of it, when she gets out, like he's just upset and he's like, I should have questioned it. And so like they just added it to give it like a more lighter ending.
Yeah.
Which I get because like it's a movie, but it's also kind of weird that it's like,
that is kind of weird.
why add it? Like,
Yeah.
So like that's the only thing that I
guess
feel
so.
like,
It's like, so the ending feels a little softer.
yeah,
You know, instead of
'Cause,
just like.
I mean, it's a story that doesn't have. I mean, like she's out, which is, I guess, you know, that
Yeah.
is the best part of it. But there's so much trauma that
Yeah.
it's like there is. So it's like, but it's like it was weird
Yeah.
that like that was added. But obviously, like in watching it, I didn't know that.
Right.
But when I was reading it and saw that that was not real and it was added for the movie, I was like, oh, that's kind of
Yeah, that is kind of
weird
weird.
that they added that. So that's like my only.
So in the movie,
critique
does it
about
say
that.
that it's like based off of this?
I think so. I feel like it has to, and I think that's why I looked it up because, or maybe in the description it says it's based off of it. At some point, it has to say, because like why else would I
Right.
look it up? Like
or maybe you were like, this is so fucked up.
and
have,
then I
like,
saw
what the-
online that I was based off of something.
Maybe.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah,
Girl in the
at
basement.
at some point I saw that it's based off of like a true story, and then I
Yeah.
was looking up, you know, what's the differences between the two.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there's not many, so I think it's worth it to watch if you want to, though it is disturbing. Like for so many days, like, it just kept me up because of just, like, how fucked up it is. But that's just because the story is just so fucked up itself.
Oh yeah, all like the descriptions say it's based off.
Yeah.
Of it. Gotcha.
So.
He has been moved to a normal prison, where he then can try to get out on, like,
This year, right?
yeah,
Where was he before? Maximum security type
like a
vibe?
psych thing, like a psych ward,
Oh, okay.
super prison kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But if for people with, like, mentally unstable.
Right.
But the ruling can be appealed within this prison. So.
But apparently he's, like, not mentally really there. He's, like, losing
Now?
it. Yeah. So it's like,
Well, I mean, the man is pushing
That
90.
or
Yeah.
he's playing it up to get out.
But like at 90 years old,
You'll do anything to get out of prison.
I guess so.
You've already been there for 15 years. You'll do fucking whatever.
isn't that crazy that he hasn't, like,
He's been in prison less time than
Yeah.
his daughter.
like,
Imagine the injustice if he did get out, though.
yeah, right?
Yo, I feel like the streets of Austria, like, people would be lining up.
Realistically, he's probably not going to make it to be able to live longer than she was in prison.
I mean, you're right, but like, wouldn't
24
you rather?
years, so
wouldn't
he's
you
done
rather- he should
15.
die
He'll do
there.
Wouldn't you
10.
rather see him die there
Yes.
He'd
than?
be 99 years old in order to do more time than she
But
did.
Yeah.
but like him
mean,
dying
people
there
in
at
Europe
least is
live
a little
longer
bit
than
better
us
than like,
here.
oh, he can
Probably
get
not in
out and
prison.
like
yeah.
rebuild his life.
Yes.
You know,
Be, like,
because
having
he does
that
not
chance.
deserve to
Yes.
have.
Oh, no,
like,
I mean, I
a
agree.
decent normal experience.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying he's likely not going to be in prison longer than she was. So
Right.
there'll never really be justice there.
Well, yeah, but at least he can die there.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
he should.
I'm saying more so like if he got out,
Yeah.
that would be.
I have different opinions on certain things, well, more extreme opinions on this man even being in a prison. But like,
Yeah, I'm
I'll
saying,
leave that. I'll leave that
do they
for-
not have the death penalty? Like,
I don't know.
I'm surprised he didn't get like lethal injection or the chair or some shit.
I don't
Do they
know.
still
Usually,
do the
if people
chair? I
do
feel like
shit
that's
like
kinda
that,
old.
I'm
I don't
like,
think
nah,
they do
just
the chair. I don't think places do the chair.
yeah. I don't think the chair's
Firing
a thing
squad.
anymore.
Yeah.
No, they got rid of it in '68.
Oh wow, that's really
Long
early.
time
To
ago.
be fair, a lot of countries do not have death penalty anymore.
That's true.
It's very uncommon. Japan
We should bring
technically
it
has
back.
it, but like they've I think sentenced like 12 people ever to the death.
I believe that.
One of which being the guy that burned down Kyoto Animation.
Really?
Yes, he was the first in like forever. So there's that. But yeah, most places don't really have it. But there's certain crimes where I'm like, no, just
I feel like it's acceptable
I-
in certain circumstances.
Like, we're probably gonna get hated on, but I don't mind getting hated on for that.
yeah. There's certain crimes you could just fuck off.
Yeah.
We don't need to support that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
People might think we're harsh, but I don't.
No, I think that like once you cross a certain line,
Yeah.
like you can, in my opinion,
Die.
No amount of rehabilitation will bring you back.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like, you are a monster.
forever altered
Yes.
as a person.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And you will always be a danger to society.
And like,
Regardless
even-
of how like old you get. Unless, you know.
Yeah, and like, even if they're saying like, oh no, we did tests, like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
They're lying to get out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe they are a monster, so they can be a monster to lie to you to get out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe you.
Unless
like,
they're like, unless they have like such like, they're like either catatonic or something like that. Like they're lying to you.
yeah.
unless they're catatonic, well, they're not saying anything to
But
you.
you know what I mean? Like unless they're in such an extreme state that it's like, okay, obviously they're not better, right? Any person who can cognitively think and is like,
Yeah.
okay, here's the parole board.
I've only
Plead
been
your
doing this for
case.
the last 15 years of trying to plead my case. I can totally figure out how to get it just the right way for them to believe me.
You know what I mean? Like, so if you have enough cognition to be like, okay, what can I say
Yeah.
to get out? You're gonna say whatever you can.
Yeah. Another thing that I saw that was crazy recently, There was a guy. See, so he's free in Japan right now. He fucking ate a woman. Can you look this up? I saw this while I was in the airport coming back from Vegas. He's literally free no, he died. He died recently, but he was free like before this. Because wherever, I think he might have been in France or something, wherever he did the crime, they were like, we don't want him here. And they shipped him back to Japan, and Japan didn't want to open like whatever
That can of worms.
the sentencing was. So they just let him free. And he was like, he sold like, wait, am I mixing two stories up? Wait, did you find it?
I'm just reading the
Wait, I'm telling you.
on June 11th, 1981, Sagawa. We're just gonna go with Sa.
Saw.
Then 32 invited his classmate.
Yeah, they
Renee,
were classmates.
a Dutch woman to dinner at his apartment. At whatever, under the pretense of translating poetry for a school assignment. Sa planned to kill and eat her, having selected her for her health and beauty characteristics he felt he lacked. Sa considered himself weak, ugly, and small. He was 4'9".
Yeah, he
Wow,
sure
that
was
is
small.
short.
a tiny man, and he was obsessed with big European women.
She
Like,
was
just
5'10".
Yeah, tall European women, and that's what he wanted to eat.
I'm also
was a
obsessed with tall European women, but not that
I
way.
was gonna
But
say,
you wanna eat
like,
tall
No,
European
not that way.
like this man could have lived a much better life with the tall European women.
Yes.
He could have succeeded in
But
being with
this,
them in a
this
non-weird
following
way.
thing after his height will claim why he wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Which is because he claimed he wanted to absorb her energy.
I don't think it works like that, buddy.
Right, but that's why he would never think about it in a
Did
sane
he
way.
think eating her would make him taller?
I think that's what that means, yes.
Oh
well,
my
he
God.
wanted because
Uh,
she's like beautiful on like.
He
the-
wanted her aura
yes,
inside
yes.
him.
She was 25 years old and 5'10". After she arrived, she began reading the poetry at her desk, blah, blah, blah. He saw when... Oh, back to Saw when he shot her in the neck with a rifle.
Wait, okay. So before this too, there was a different like woman that he was stalking, and he like climbed through her window and like broke in, and I'm pretty sure she was like sleeping naked too, and she fucking like pinned him to the ground.
Yeah.
Because he's
The
dying.
guy's 4'9".
Yeah,
Just
like-
fucking knock him
and then
out.
like was able to yell and like get help.
This is a content warning going forward. We're about to describe the case, and if you don't want to hear anything violently graphic, you might want to skip ahead a little bit or leave now. Thanks.
At
and everything.
24
Yeah.
in Tokyo, followed a tall German woman home. He really does like tall European ladies.
I'm
Then
telling
broke
you.
into her apartment while she was sleeping. Intention was to cannibalize her by slicing off a part of her butt and sneaking away with a small part of her flesh. But she awoke and, according to Saw, thwarted his attack and pushed him to the ground.
Did he think she
captured by
just wouldn't
police
notice?
and charged with attempted
Give it
rape.
a little slice.
Anyway, so shoots her with a rifle. Then he said he fainted after the shock of shooting her, but awoke with the realization that he had to carry out his plan. So he raped the corpse, but
didn't
he
know
could
that
not
part.
bite into her skin because his teeth were not sharp enough. So he left the apartment, purchased a butcher knife, then consumed various parts of
He ate it
her body,
like raw,
eating
cooked,
eating
like-
most of her breasts, face, butt, feet, thighs, neck, either raw or cooked. Even admitting that he swallowed her clitoris whole, due to her being on her period at the time and him not liking the smell of menstrual blood, while saving other parts in his refrigerator. Do we want to
Why?
keep any of this? Do people even want? We didn't give
Why?
a warning for any of this.
Just put a warning at the beginning.
Why? I just don't understand the whole like cannibalizing somebody.
I don't either.
situation.
Thank God, 'cause we're not kidding.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but like I can't even understand it in like, you know, like in a way of like, oh, you know, different strokes for different folks. No, no.
Saw also took photos of her body at each eating stage.
Ew.
Once
I
the
didn't know
remains
that
of her
either.
body,
Did he not
once the remains of
dismember
her
her
body
first?
that he did not consume started decomposing, he
Well, I guess
attempted to
not.
dump the remains of her corpse in a lake in a park, carrying her dismembered body parts in 2 suitcases, but was caught in the act and
What a
arrested by
fucking
French
idiot.
police
So
4 days
He
later.
went to a park. So he had like 2 suitcases that he put like the body parts in, and like he had to call a cab. And this cab driver even like remembers, because he's such a tiny man, like with these 2 giant suitcases, like thinking this was weird, and he like helped him like with it. So like this cab driver like feels
Right,
bad.
of course.
So he like brought him to this park. He was like so confident and like cocky about this that he was like
Tell me he did it in daytime.
like resting at this park with it, and then like people thought it was weird, so they like came over and they were like, "Are these your suitcases?" And then he was like, no, not mine. And then they opened it, and then like that's when they like saw like the dead remain, and like obviously like
Right.
they caught him
Right.
and everything.
So I'm confused. Did he get tried in France?
Yes, and
So, his wealthy father,
Yes,
provided a
this is a
lawyer for
very
his
important
defense.
part.
And after being held for 2 years awaiting trial, he was found legally insane and unfit to stand trial by a French judge. Enter French judge name, who ordered him to be held indefinitely in a mental institute. After a visit from an author, Saw's account of the murder and its aftermath was published in a Japanese title was published in Japan under the title In the Fog. Subsequent publicity and macabre celebrity, blah, blah, blah. French authorities' decision to deport him to Japan, where he was immediately committed to another hospital in Tokyo. His examining psychologist all declared him sane and found him sexually perverse. Was his sole motivation for murder. As the charges against Saw in France had been dropped, the French court's documents were sealed and were not released to the Japanese authorities. Consequently, Saw could not legally be detained in Japan. Saw checked himself out of the hospital in
Just
August of
checked himself
'86
out.
and subsequently remained free until his death.
The
Yep.
paper trail thing in like legal
Yep.
prosecution, it drives me fucking
Checked
crazy.
himself out.
Because France was like, "Oh, we're sealing
Because
this,
they
not
were like,
for you."
yeah, like, cause
But I can't believe like
They were like,
if
"We don't
I'm
want this
Japan,
crazy
I would
guy."
be like, "No, give me those fucking documents."
Yeah.
He ate a person. Like, I don't care if it happened in your country.
Yeah, but that's
He's here
not
now.
how that works, sadly.
I know, but that's crazy.
Although, I mean, I guess in some consolation,
And then-
his continued freedom was widely criticized by everyone.
No, but so he was also like somewhat of like a celebrity.
Yeah,
in,
that's what it
in-
said, a
in
macabre
Japan.
celebrity.
Like, yeah,
That's
and
what was
so-
part of the thing about getting him over there.
And like, cool, just gets to live as a celebrity with his rich daddy's money, and like, till he fucking died.
That's
He
crazy.
killed a woman and ate her.
Between 86 and 97, Saw was frequently invited to be a guest speaker and commentator.
For what? How to eat people?
In
What else does this man
92,
know?
Saw appeared in an exploitation film as a pseudo-sexual voyeur, wrote books about the murder he committed, as well as a shonen on the 1997 Kobe child murders. Also wrote restaurant reviews for the Japanese magazine Spa.
Who is
Saw
hiring
could no
this
longer
person?
find
Crazy.
publishers for his writings, and he struggled to find employment. Saw was nearly accepted by a French language school because the manager was impressed with his courage in using his real name, but employees protested, and so he was rejected. In 2005, Saw's parents died, and he was prevented from attending their funeral, but repaid their creditors and moved into public housing. He received welfare benefits. In an interview in 2011, Saw said he was being forced to make a living while being known as a murderer and cannibal was what? Hold on. Saw said
Forced to make
said
a
that
living?
being forced to make a living while being known as a murderer and a cannibal was a terrible punishment. In 2013,
Sir, you did
he
it.
was
Yeah.
How-
wha-
I guess because he was.
He's like, oh man, I can't get a job. People know I ate someone.
I think that's what he's saying. Saw was hospitalized for a cerebral infarction, which permanently damaged his nervous system. He later lived alone and needed daily assistance, which was provided by his younger brother, or from caregivers. At the time, he claimed to have regretted his obsession. He died from complications of pneumonia in Tokyo in 2022 at the age of 73.
Yo,
Yeah,
if I'm
like,
one of those
he lived-
caregivers or hospital staff, oh no, the plug came out.
But literally,
Whoopsies,
he
my hand
only
slipped.
died 2 years ago
That's
and lived
crazy.
to 73, and he fucking killed someone and ate them. How long ago?
In 81.
In 81.
So he had like 40 years. 40 good years to
Yes.
just fuck around.
Yep.
But no, Kat, he had a hard life. He couldn't get a job.
But that was only some of the time. That was only some of the
That's
time that he
true.
had a lot of the time he was a celebrity.
It does say he
Only-
just struggled to find employment, which means that he was still able to find it sometimes.
Right.
Yes, like because he was a celebrity.
Somebody
for like
almost
a
let
long
him get
time.
a job just from the audacity of doing it.
They're like, you know what? Like the cut of your jib guy. Like,
That's so. I just
Only because employees were like, bro, what?
yes.
so when the person that I brought up earlier, whose name I can never remember, I just know his first name is Larry. But he had like chopped off this woman's arms and like brutally assaulted her, and he threw her over an embankment, being like, "Done, let's go."
That's enough.
Thought she was dead. He was like, surely she'll bleed out because she has stubs now. You know.
I guess fairly fair assumption, but also
Yes.
like if you're gonna be a killer,
Oh no,
Finish
he's
the
extremely
job.
lazy and stupid.
but also most killers. Well, I would say most are stupid, but actually a lot of crimes go unsolved.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so he was like, "All right, job's done. See ya." Got back in his van and like drove away. She managed to climb up the embankment, and then she was just
With no arms?
with no arms. Wow. Well, she had the stubs, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she
Bleeding out stubs.
No, she packed them with mud so she wouldn't bleed out and
Oh,
die.
she's so
smart.
smart.
15 years old too at the time.
Wow.
But anyway, so then this poor girl is walking along the highway completely naked, covered in blood, head to toe with stubs, and she's like trying, and this was not like a major highway. This is like rural, you see one car pass you like every hour kind of highway in the middle of nowhere. So she was like, I just have to keep walking. Like, I will eventually find a car.
Did the guy pass her again?
No.
Oh, thank God.
So at first, one car did pass her, but it was a bunch of young guys in the car. And she was like, hell fucking no, right? Then she was like, yeah, absolutely the fuck not. So she just kept walking. But then another car passed her, and it was like a young couple that had like just gotten married. They were like going somewhere for their honeymoon, and they saw her and they were like, what the fuck is going on? So they took her to the hospital. She gets to the hospital and she's immediately like, they're like, oh, we have to give you treatment, blah, 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 and then you can give your statement. She's like, no, I will give it to you right now. I will give you his full description, everything
in
I
case,
know
like, I die.
right now.
Yeah.
And she like, they had a sketch artist come to do like the face thing, whatever you call that. I know this is very specific. She described him like so to a T that when they posted it on like news channels, being like, if you see this person, like give us a ring. The guy's neighbor was like, holy
That's my
shit,
neighbor.
that's my neighbor. And he immediately called it in, being like,
That's my neighbor.
I'm 100% sure this is my neighbor. This is his name. This is where he lives. All this information. And he originally, I think he was only sentenced like 18 years
Uh-huh.
because that was like the extent of the cap of what they could do for, I think it was rape in the first degree, like grievous bodily harm, and probably like some other things thrown in as well. Attempted murder. But like the cap that they could give him on the sentence was 18 years. And I think he was getting paroled after 12 years. And the people were so mad that they were going to let him like rejoin
Yeah.
the public that they were like, they signed a petition. The entire town and like whoever runs the town, the mayor of the town was like, we don't want him here. He can't live here. We refuse. if you put him here, he is not lasting more than one day.
I was like,
Yeah.
sign a petition. He'll be dead. Like, you won't know. Everybody will kill him.
So at first he was living on the prison grounds, but like in an RV.
Uh-huh. So they did let him out.
So they did let him out, but then the people of the town were like, no. Even that's too much. He can't be here at all. The whole state was like, we don't want him. So then they were like, all right, we'll transfer him to Florida. So then he moves to Florida, attacks another woman, goes back into prison, gets another light BS sentence, gets out again, and then the town in Florida was like, hell fucking no, he can't be here. We don't want him here. He's gonna ruin our entire town. Get him the hell out of here.
Like, this is exactly why. Like, I don't believe that people should get, like...
And he attacked this, I think the second, he was already old when he attacked the first girl. I think she described him, I think, in like his late 50s. So he would have been like early 70s when he attacked this other woman in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? But yeah, the woman, she ended up getting prosthetics, and she became a painter. Had 2
Oh.
kids. She's living a pretty good life.
I mean, she sounds like a genius. The fact
Right?
that...
Like, I would not think to do that.
The fact that she got out, thought about the mud, was able to describe him like to a T. Like, I'm so bad at describing things. Like, the
And
fact that she was able to do it so well that he was like, that's my neighbor. Like,
And supposedly when he tried to like chop off her first arm, it wasn't like clean. So he just like kept hacking away. And then the second one was clean, but she didn't realize it because it was so fast. So she thought she was still holding on to him. And she's like, why am I falling? I'm still holding on to you. Because she didn't realize the second one went. Because it was such a clean, quick thing.
hate that.
Welcome to our 3-year anniversary.
You know, where we talk nothing about us.
Oh, all right. God, I'm gonna have to put a warning on this.
Yes.
Cool.
I think you have to give like an audio warning as well.
I'm
for
gonna have to
listeners.
just put
like post.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Trigger
put something
warning
like before
for
the
literally
credit. Yeah,
everything.
gonna have to just put it before the intro. It's just like a me being like, "Hi, trigger warning."
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that
Happy
note,
3 years.
yeah.
Sorry, Michael.
Sage got her murder corner again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been so long.
It has been. It's been.
How did we go from the 4 seasons Orlando baby?
Well,
to-
because then you
to
were like, oh
murder?
yeah, this reminds me of this.
No,
Yeah, I think you
It
were the one
was
that got
you.
there.
No, but we've talked about something else that slowly just like
Oh,
kept
Ruby Frankie.
Yeah, that's how. I was like, we just slowly kept descending.
Anyway,
That's why.
thanks for watching this week's episode and the end of season 3 of Vaguely Anime. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, you stick around for another year. And if you're just joining us up, this happens sometimes. We also have an anime club. We are 4 weeks till that anime club, which is Fruits Basket Season 2, Cat's
Yes.
Pick. So go watch that. Join us for that episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, follow. Check out Cat the Moonstar on Twitch. And we will see you next week for whatever it is we talk about.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.